This fall, we are celebrating God's generosity in our lives and considering all the gifts God has given to us. St. Paul tells us that the gifts from God are meant to be used for the benefit of others. And because of God's grace, these gifts are plentiful and visible in the lives of God's people in our faith community here at Ezekiel.
Like the tree planted by the river of life, we put down our roots in this ground.
Oh, the gift of serving came from, I'd say, my mother and my dad. You know, being raised on a farm, they worked so hard and they would have their garden crops and they would give away whatever they could that they didn't need, or anybody in need, they would go help. And I would say that that's where I got it. My mother led Bible studies at her church and was in the ladies' aid. She led 4-H's and she was just always busy. My mother would always whistle. If she wasn't whistling, she wasn't happy. So she would whistle while she worked, and it just gave her joy, I think. And my dad was the same way. I mean, he just couldn't do enough for other people if they needed it. Well, since I retired, I've had more time to do things too. And so I'm on committees, and I just feel good about it. I just feel that God has asked me to do that, and I want to do it. Because when you're a nurse, I think you have to give more than what you're really educated for. And that's why I always get a kick out of the sermon when Pastor Mark talks about washing the feet. I would do that when I worked in the hospital. I would wash their feet, and they loved it. Take that extra time. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And on a daily basis, I try to wake up in the morning and say, God, show me the way to be a blessing to somebody today. I think the children always enjoyed that when we brought the baskets of food up front, and they stood by the one that had the most in it. And they see that there's a need and that people have things given to them if they can't afford themselves. And I just see it all the time at Ezekiel. Generosity. Our church is so giving. Whenever there's a need and we ask for donations for anything, like we're going to have a socket to 'em Undy Sunday, and there's more than enough to people bring in, and it's divided up to whoever needs it around in the cities or in the town for sharing and carrying hands, or the school supplies that we put together and we ship over to Lutheran World Relief. Anything that there's a need. This congregation is so giving, and it's just amazing. And I think that's what generosity is all about. Just giving of your time and talents and whatever you have. Generosity is just giving of the heart, and do what you can for other people.
Sharing and sharing.